You wake up in a world that tells you everything is fine. The money in your account is safe, the economy is stable, the system works, until the moment you try to move your money across borders, speak against authority, or live outside the boundaries of what's considered normal. Then, suddenly, you realize how fragile your freedom really is. Every paycheck, every transaction, every piece of your financial life passes through invisible gates. Banks, regulators, and governments. You might not see the chains, but they're there. The modern fiat system isn't just about paper money, it's about control. Every dollar is tracked, every transfer can be frozen, and every balance can be erased with the stroke of a bureaucrat's pen. We've been taught to believe that money issued by the state equals security, but in truth, it equals dependency. When you rely on institutions that can dictate how and when you access your own funds, your financial life isn't truly yours. It's borrowed permission, and permission can be revoked. Think about it. Your savings sit in a bank. You don't own that money. You have a claim on it. The moment confidence in the system shakes, withdrawals are limited. The government decides what's too much cash to hold, what's too suspicious to send, and which nations or people you're allowed to transact with. If you're a freelancer living abroad, good luck getting paid if your country's banking system falls out of favor with the global network. If you're an activist challenging an oppressive regime, your accounts can vanish overnight. And if you're simply someone who dares to question authority, your financial identity becomes a tool to silence you. This is the reality of the fiat matrix, a web of centralized control disguised as convenience, a system designed to make you feel safe while quietly eroding your ability to act freely. Most people never notice because the walls aren't made of stone, they're made of code. But then came Bitcoin. Bitcoin wasn't created by a corporation or endorsed by a government. It was born out of rebellion, an idea that people could own money without permission, transfer value without intermediaries, and protect wealth without borders. In 2009, while the world was still reeling from the global financial crisis, an anonymous figure named Satoshi Nakamoto planted a digital seed of resistance. Embedded in the first block of Bitcoin's blockchain were the words, "The Times 03 Jan 2009 Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks." That message wasn't random. It was a declaration of independence. For the first time in history, humanity had a tool that separated money from the state, a currency that didn't rely on trust in banks but on mathematics, a network anyone could join, yet no one could control. Bitcoin made something revolutionary possible: censorship-resistant money. When you send Bitcoin, no authority can stop it. No government can reverse it. No corporation can block it. The blockchain doesn't care about your nationality, your beliefs, or your social status. It only cares that the transaction is valid. And that makes Bitcoin one of the most powerful tools for freedom ever created. In places like Venezuela, where hyperinflation destroyed savings, Bitcoin became a lifeline. People traded it peer-to-peer, escaping the collapsing bolivar and bypassing corrupt banks. In Nigeria, when the youth-led NSARS movement faced state crackdowns, activists turned to Bitcoin after their accounts were frozen. Across conflict zones in Eastern Europe, individuals used it to move money across borders when traditional systems failed. These aren't theories, they're proof. Bitcoin isn't a speculative game, it's a survival mechanism, a decentralized escape hatch from financial tyranny. Bitcoin thrives where freedom is under attack because it doesn't ask for permission to exist. Its code is open, its network is global, and its ledger, immutable, transparent, and public, ensures that no power, no matter how great, can rewrite history. But Bitcoin's real power isn't just financial, it's philosophical. It forces us to question what freedom truly means. Most people live inside an invisible cage of convenience. They trade autonomy for comfort. They accept surveillance in exchange for ease. They allow centralized powers to manage their money, their data, their identity, believing that's the price of modern life. Bitcoin breaks that illusion. It asks, what if you could be your own bank? What if you didn't need permission to save, spend, or send? What if no one could tell you what your money is worth, or where it can go? Owning Bitcoin isn't just about wealth. It's about reclaiming mental sovereignty. Freedom doesn't come from permission. It comes from responsibility. To hold Bitcoin is to hold accountability. You control your keys, your coins, your future. Of course, with that power comes risk. Lose your private keys, and your Bitcoin is gone forever. There's no helpline, no reversal, no insurance. But maybe that's the point. True freedom has always carried risk. It demands awareness, discipline, and courage. Bitcoin's structure mirrors liberty itself, decentralized, voluntary, incorruptible. It thrives on transparency, not secrecy, on consensus, not coercion. And unlike fiat, It cannot be printed into oblivion by those in power. Its scarcity is its integrity. Today, governments are experimenting with central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. They promise innovation, but at what cost? Imagine a world where every transaction is programmable, where authorities decide what you can buy, when, and from whom. A world where money expires if not spent. That's not evolution. It's digital servitude. Bitcoin stands as the counterforce, the final line of defense for individual sovereignty in a system racing toward total surveillance. It's a mirror showing humanity, the choice between dependence and freedom. Think of the Matrix, the digital illusion that keeps people obedient. Fiat currency is its financial version. It feeds on compliance, fueled by debt and inflation. Bitcoin is the red pill, the awakening. It reveals the code behind the illusion and offers a choice: remain comfortable in the system or wake up to autonomy. Every person who buys, earns, or holds Bitcoin participates in an act of peaceful resistance. Each transaction is a vote for freedom over control. Each Satoshi, a small rebellion against the forces that believe ownership should belong only to the powerful. And when you truly understand Bitcoin, you realize it's not just a new kind of money. It's a new way of thinking. It reminds us we don't have to accept the world as it is. Freedom isn't granted, it's claimed. Systems of control only survive because we consent to them. Bitcoin teaches responsibility. It teaches patience. It teaches trust in math over men. It reminds us that financial sovereignty is the foundation of every other freedom. Because if you can't control your money, you can't control your life. Ask yourself, what does financial freedom mean to you? Is it the ability to buy what you want, when you want? Or is it the power to live without permission, to transact without fear, to hold value no one can confiscate or devalue? Bitcoin doesn't promise wealth. It promises choice, and that choice is powerful. You can stay inside the fiat matrix, safe, obedient, dependent. Or you can step into the uncertainty of self-sovereignty, where freedom and responsibility walk hand in hand. The world is changing. Inflation rises, censorship spreads, surveillance tightens. But Bitcoin remains, a beacon of independence, shining brighter as the system around it decays. The question is, will you take the red pill? Because the door to freedom isn't locked. It's waiting for you to open it. Hold your keys, protect your future, and remember, Bitcoin doesn't just free your money, it frees your mind.